Life truly is unpredictable. My name is John Miller, and I'm 45 years old. 6 months ago, I lost my wife Mary to an illness, and I'd been living alone ever since. That was until I received a call from my mother-in-law. "John, I'm so sorry, but I don't think I can live by myself anymore." Susan, Mary's mother, was 68. She'd recently hurt her back, making it difficult to go up and down stairs. Since Mary passed, I'd visit Susan about once a month, and I could tell her independent living was becoming a challenge. "What do you think about us living together? We're both alone, and I think we could support each other." Honestly, I was hesitant. If Mary were alive, it would be a natural progression. But living with just my mother-in-law felt like something I needed to think about. Yet, I knew if Mary were here, she'd tell me not to leave her mother alone. So, I made up my mind. "Oh, John, that would be such a blessing. I had a feeling you'd say yes." Susan was a vibrant, healthy 6'8" Her hair was short and neatly styled, her posture excellent, and she carried a subtle resemblance to her daughter, Mary. She was an excellent cook and meticulously managed the household. About a week into our cohabitation, I'd come home from work to the delightful aroma of dinner. "Welcome home, John. Tonight it's your favorite pot roast. Thank you for always making such delicious meals." This became our new routine. At first, we were both a bit reserved, but gradually, our relationship grew more natural. There was just one small architectural quirk in the apartment. The bathroom exit led directly into the living room. Susan typically bathed before I got home from work. But that day, I came home uncharacteristically early. "I'm home." No answer. I could hear the shower running from the bathroom. Susan was still bathing. As I reviewed some work documents, I heard the bathroom door open. "Oh, John, you're home early." I turned to see Susan standing there in her nightgown. Her hair was slightly damp, and her shoulders were flushed from the steam. As I casually glanced, I noticed the collar of her nightgown had shifted slightly, revealing the soft curve of her neck and collarbone, usually hidden. "Excuse me." I quickly averted my gaze, but the brief image lingered in my mind. Susan, looking a bit embarrassed, adjusted her nightgown and headed to her room. "It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're family." Watching her walk away, I felt a confusing stir. Family? Yes, we were family, but somehow my heart was racing. I was surprised and even felt guilty for suddenly seeing my mother-in-law as a woman. What am I thinking? I chided myself, but the image of Susan's flushed shoulders wouldn't leave my mind. From that day on, my relationship with Susan began to subtly change. Since that day, my perception of Susan had subtly shifted. "John, how was your day? Are you tired?" Every evening, she'd greet me with warm words. The house felt brighter, and life had a rhythm again, much like when Mary was around. "No, I'm fine. In fact, it's incredibly comforting to have a home to return to." Susan would smile and pour me a coffee. She moved with a grace that belied her 68 years, managing the household flawlessly. She had a kindness similar to Mary's, and sometimes I'd catch a fleeting glimpse of Mary in her expressions. About a month into our cohabitation, I fell ill from work stress. "John, you have a fever. You need to rest today." I woke up with a headache, unable to get out of bed, and Susan came into my room, looking worried. "I'm sorry, I'm fine. I need to go to work." "No, you absolutely can't push yourself," she insisted, then gently placed her hand on my forehead to check my temperature. That tender gesture sent a strange pang through my chest. Susan nursed me all day. When my fever rose, she'd wipe my forehead with a cool, damp towel. Mary used to get sick like this when she was little. Susan murmured suddenly, and I thought I saw a hint of tears in her eyes. "Do you often think of Mary?" I asked. "Every day, dear. But I'm not lonely now that you're here." Her words warmed my heart in a way I couldn't explain. I felt something beyond the relationship of a son-in-law and mother-in-law. The next day, my fever had broken, and I was recovering, watching television in the living room. It was past 10 p.m. "John, still awake?" I turned to see Susan standing there in her nightgown. Unlike her usual meticulous self, it was slightly disheveled. One button was undone, revealing a glimpse of her neckline. Oh, yes. I was just about to go to bed. Susan sat beside me and started watching television. I felt an inexplicable tension and couldn't meet her gaze. John, aren't you lonely? Her sudden question caught me off guard. No, thanks to you being here. No, I don't mean that. As a woman, John. Susan's eyes looked at me intently. Honestly, there are times I feel lonely. But I'm lonely too, you know. Susan spoke softly, her voice carrying years of suppressed emotion. It's been 5 years since my husband passed, and now Mary is gone too. I feel like I'm losing the sense of being needed as a woman. I didn't know how to respond. I felt a strange mix of confusion and wonder that my mother-in-law, Susan, was confiding her loneliness as a woman in me. I'm sorry. That was a strange thing to say. Susan, looking shy, stood up and headed to her room. Watching her back, I sensed something profound shifting within me. Back in my bedroom, Susan's words echoed in my mind. The glimpse of her neck, her intense gaze, and the phrase "as a woman." Feelings I shouldn't harbor for my mother-in-law were slowly taking shape. What has gotten into me? I buried my face in my pillow, fighting a whirlwind of confusion. Yet a new thought began to surface. I felt compelled to respond to Susan's loneliness. From the next day on, a subtle tension hung between us. "Good morning, John. Breakfast is ready." Our morning greetings were the same, but our eyes would quickly dart away when they met. "Thank you. I'll eat." Conversations during meals grew sparse. The words "as a woman" from last night still resonated in my head. When I returned from work, Susan greeted me with her usual smile, but there was an unspoken awkwardness. We were both too aware of each other, making natural conversation difficult. That weekend, I took a leap. "Susan, would you like to go shopping tomorrow?" "Oh, really? You mean it?" Her face lit up. "Yes, you haven't been out much lately. I thought it might be a nice change of pace." The next day, we went to a nearby shopping mall. Susan seemed to enjoy browsing the stores, even if the crowds were a bit overwhelming. "John, don't you think this would suit you?" Susan held a blue shirt up to me. "Oh, does it look good?" "It's wonderful. I'll buy it for you." "No, you don't have to. It's fine. Consider it a gift from your mom." Her smiling face looked remarkably youthful as she said it. After shopping, we had coffee. I noticed Susan looking a little uneasy, sensing people's stares. "Is something wrong? We don't look strange, do we?" Not like a mother and son. It was true. Given our age difference, people might think of us as an unusual pair. "Don't worry about it. As long as we're enjoying ourselves." My words seemed to reassure her, and she smiled. On the way home, a sudden rain shower forced us to share an umbrella. "I'm sorry, this is a bit close." "It's fine. You'll get wet otherwise." Under the umbrella, Susan's body leaned into mine. Her warmth and the scent of soap from her hair felt comforting. Back home, sipping tea in the living room, Susan began to speak softly. "John, today was so much fun. I felt like a woman out and about for the first time in ages." Tears welled in her eyes. "Susan, I've always wanted to tell you. Since Mary passed, you've been my rock. I'm so grateful." "No, it's me who's been supported." She paused, her voice trembling slightly. "Sometimes, I feel guilty. You're my daughter's husband, and yet, I find myself seeing you as a man." Her confession left me speechless. She continued, "Perhaps it's shameful to feel this way at my age, but I long for the joy of being seen as a woman." I gathered my courage and gently placed my hand over hers. "I feel the same way. Lately, I've realized I see you not just as my mother-in-law, but as a woman." Susan's eyes widened. "Really? You do?" "Yes. But thinking of Mary, I feel so guilty." Both of us fell silent, lost for words. We had acknowledged our feelings, but neither knew what to do next. "It's late, isn't it?" "Good night, John." Susan quietly stood and went to her room. That night, I couldn't sleep. I struggled with these forbidden emotions, yet I knew my feelings for Susan were real. A few days later, I came home late from work, exhausted. The living room light was on, but Susan wasn't there. "I'm home." No reply. I peeked into her room and found Susan asleep on the sofa, a book fallen from her chest. It seemed she had been waiting for me. Her nightgown was slightly askew. Her peaceful face brought a sense of calm to my heart. "Susan, you'll catch a cold sleeping here." I gently called out to her, and she slowly opened her eyes. "Oh, John, you're home. What time is it?" "It's past midnight." "Were you waiting for me?" Susan smiled shyly. "I was worried. Should I warm up your dinner?" "No, I'm fine. You should get to bed, Susan." I offered her my hand, and she softly took it. As she stood up, she lost her balance and leaned into me. I instinctively wrapped my arms around her, our bodies pressed together. "I'm sorry." "It's fine," Susan said, not pulling away, looking up at me. There was a look of determination in her eyes. In the charged silence, Susan began to speak softly. "John, can we really go on like this?" "What do you mean?" "You and I, we both feel lonely. We support each other by being together, yet we're holding back and suffering." Susan's words made my heart pound. But, thinking about Mary would understand, I think. I know my daughter. Susan placed a hand on my arm and smiled gently. "John, we're family now. But it feels like it's more than just that." Her words dissolved the confusion within me. Perhaps I didn't need to deny my feelings for Susan, seeing her as a woman, any longer. "Susan, I feel the same way." I bravely took her hand. In that moment, I felt our relationship was moving to a new stage. "Don't call me Mary's mom anymore. Just Susan." "Understood. Susan." Tears welled in her eyes when I called her by her first name, a look of profound relief on her face, as if freed from years of loneliness. We slowly closed the distance between us and gently pressed our lips together. Our first kiss was a mix of tenderness and longing. We went to Susan's room and sat together. At first, we were both nervous, but we gently touched hands, reassuring each other of our presence. "John, I'm sorry I'm so old." Susan averted her eyes shyly. "What are you talking about? You're beautiful." As I gently stroked her cheek, Susan's slightly trembling hand touched my chest. "It's been so long since anyone touched me, or I touched someone like this." I sat on the bed and put my arm around Susan's shoulder, pulling her close. Her warmth and heartbeat transferred to me. "Are you nervous?" "Yes, a little. But I'm happy." As I pressed my lips to her neck, I heard a soft gasp. Slowly, I unbuttoned her nightgown. Her trembling hands reached for my shirt. "John, I'm not young anymore. That doesn't matter. What matters is this moment." Susan's bare shoulder was revealed, and I gently touched her skin. Her body, unaccustomed to being seen as a woman for so long, reacted sensitively. "Ah!" A small sound escaped her lips. Her skin was soft, defying her age. As time passed, our initial nervousness gradually eased. "John, can I touch you too?" "Of course." Susan's hands explored my body, and her warmth sent shivers through me. Our breaths mingled, and slowly, we became one. "Is it okay? Does it hurt?" "No, it's fine." "You're so gentle." Her eyes held a mixture of joy and a touch of wistfulness. We slowly felt each other's presence, sharing warmth. When our bodies became one, Susan let out a small gasp and wrapped her arms around my back. "Oh, John, I never thought I'd feel this happiness again." Her words moved me deeply. In that moment, we were no longer mother-in-law and son-in-law, but a man and a woman united. "Susan, I love you." The words slipped out spontaneously. Tears streamed down Susan's face. "I love you too, John. I've wanted to say it for so long." After confirming our love, Susan rested her head on my chest. The peaceful expression on her face showed that the long-held loneliness had finally vanished. I never imagined a day like this would come. Me neither. But I think it was meant to be. Gently stroking Susan's hair, I thought of Mary. The grief of losing my wife would never truly disappear. But this new bond with Susan brought a different kind of happiness. "John, what happens to us now? We'll take it one step at a time, together. There's no need to rush." Susan smiled, reassured. We spent the quiet night feeling each other's warmth. The next morning, I woke to find Susan in the kitchen, making breakfast as usual. But something was different. Her face glowed with a new vitality. "Good morning, John." "Good morning, Susan." The atmosphere around the table was different from the day before. We met each other's gaze and gently clasped hands. "Thank you for last night," Susan murmured. "No, thank you." I was truly happy. In the sunlit kitchen, we felt the beginning of a new day. It was the moment we began to walk together as partners, transcending the relationship of a son-in-law and mother-in-law. 6 months have passed since then. My relationship with Susan deepens with each passing day. The guilt we initially felt has gradually faded. "What do you want for dinner tonight?" I asked, embracing Susan from behind as she prepared dinner. She smiled happily. "Anything you make is delicious, Susan." These simple, everyday joys are precious to us now. One day, Susan looked at a photo of Mary and spoke softly. "Mary, please forgive me. John is making me so happy." I too spoke to the photo in my heart. "Mary, thank you. Susan and I are able to live on because of the bond you created. No one in our circle knows about our relationship yet. I know we'll have to tell them someday, but for now, it's our secret." "John, I've been thinking about something," Susan said one evening, her face serious. "What is it?" "Our relationship. It will eventually become known to others. What will Mary's children, your children, think then?" "That's a crucial point. You're right. We should be honest. They might not understand at first, but I believe they'll come to accept it someday." "Yes, honesty is always the best path." Susan squeezed my hand, relieved. The next day, while walking in the neighborhood, we ran into an old acquaintance. "Mr. Miller, how have you been? We were worried after your wife passed." "Thank you. I'm doing well, thankfully." When I introduced Susan, the acquaintance said, "Oh, so you're living with your mother-in-law now? That's wonderful. You can support each other." Susan and I exchanged glances and smiled. "Yes, we're supporting each other." On the way home, Susan said, "John, our relationship might not be easily understood by society, perhaps, but our feelings for each other are genuine." Yes, that's true. We walked hand in hand. There are still many hurdles to overcome, like our age difference and societal perceptions, but we feel the joy of being able to walk together. In these past 6 months, I've realized that life has unpredictable turns, and there isn't just one form of happiness. And most importantly, what truly matters is the feeling of caring for each other. Susan, I'm so glad I met you, not just as my daughter's husband, but as a man. Me too, John. We embraced again. Love that transcends age and status supports us. Fighting against guilt, we found a new happiness. We will continue to support each other and live sincerely, not as the end of life, but as a new beginning. The bond Mary created unexpectedly brought us happiness. It doesn't mean forgetting her, but rather living a new life alongside her memories. This is Susan's and my unexpected life story. Senior romance has a different depth and warmth than young love. Love found in the latter half of life can heal past experiences and wounds, bringing new light. Life is not an end, but always a new beginning. Believing this, we will continue to walk together,